Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is the ripple effect. And we get to look at how each of and every one of us has impact in the world, whether we're aware of it or not, and that the influences that we share with others or the impact that we have on others ripples out and could end up impacting multitudes. So good morning, Rosalind. Welcome, welcome. It's Friday morning and welcome to everybody else who's joining us. It's great to have you with us. I love starting the day with you, Rosalind. Thank you so much. And got stuff going on with my eyes here. They've been just gunky this morning and oozy. Anyway, more information than you needed, right? Anyway, before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, and creating this brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together and vigorously rub those hands together just to feel all that friction and the temperature and the pressure, and then all the tickling and tingling that you can experience when you stop and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to be here with you. And it's Friday, so TGIF. I guess we could have TGI for each day of the week, right? Like all days are good days. Anyway, we're talking about the ripple effect. And this came up in conversation yesterday because I've been looking at creating a group practice, group coaching program. I do one-on-one coaching right now, and what motivated this inclination to start a group is because I got more aligned with my commitment to raise global consciousness. Now, obviously, I'm not looking to do that all by myself, but I do have a commitment to raise consciousness. And what I recognize is that I have a limited audience. There's only so many people I can do coaching with one-on-one. So good morning, Jenny. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. So we're talking about the ripple effect. And anyway, I have this one client who has created a lot of different programs and is in education. And she generously volunteered to have a conversation with me about what my vision was. And because at one point I was talking about doing a certification program for the core connection work. And then I realized, you know what, I just didn't want to do that. I didn't have juice behind it. So anyway, the thing that she said that was so beautiful, so Jenny says, I would like you to create a second group at a different time on a different platform. That's interesting. What I'm talking about is a structured program. Right now, this kind of works for me. And I appreciate that, Jenny. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And maybe you want to message me about your ideas. I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand. But thank you for that. Anyway, in this conversation, she said something lovely, because I was talking about being able to have more impact. And what she said was, the people, and this has always been part of the strategy in my coaching, is to find people, to work with people that are reaching lots of people. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about too, Jenny, for the coaching program is a 1 time a week group. But anyway, maybe we'll discuss that more. But what she said is, not only do you reach those people, but the people that they reach people, reach people, and on and on and on. And it got me to thinking about this ripple effect and how we all create impact. And it can be something very, very simple, like smiling at somebody in the grocery store. You know, that can change somebody's day. And if their day is changed, then they change other people's days when they're interacting, right? So that's one way. I mean, you don't have to be on a mission to save the world in order to have an impact, in order to know that you have a ripple effect, and your actions have a ripple effect. And when we share kindness, when we share love, we create openings for others. You know, when we speak something empowering to someone, and it actually lands for them, then, you know, they may internalize that and be able to carry it on to others. I don't know if you hear my cat in the background. She's just wailing. She wants, Jewel. She hollers. She goes into another room and she hollers until I call for her, and then she comes to me. It's the strangest thing. Here she is. I'll have her be on screen if I can. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Here she is. This is Jewel. And she's got incredible pipes. She can meow tremendously loudly. Anyway, so she has a ripple effect. Maggie had a ripple effect, right? Even just this little bird who brought joy to people. You know, people might share and appreciate. You know, when we talk about things going viral, that is the ripple effect, right? And we can have a negative ripple effect too. You know, like if we treat somebody badly and then they have a bad day. Rosalind's saying Maggie Poo. I know, Maggie Poo. I miss her. And it's not, I don't feel the heartbreak that I felt for so long. It's more than a year now. It was a year, November 7th, I think. But she was a very special little person, fur person. I mean, feather person. This is Jewel, who's a very special fur person. Anyway, I think when we recognize that we always have an impact, it may be good, it may be for ill, but we always have an impact. And I guess it's a matter of whether that's deliberate, you know, whether we try to, you know, whether we have a deliberate message, you know, like these conversations, it's kind of deliberate to be talking about ways of thinking and being that may help us to navigate the challenges of life and to be more awake and hopefully be better people. You know, hopefully that's the direction that we're collectively moving in. I don't think you have to have a platform in order to make an impact, though. And like we might have powerful memories of wisdom that may have been shared from a grandparent or a parent or a teacher or a friend. And, you know, the way that we interact with children in our family. And it's interesting to recognize that we're all connected and we all have an influence. And I think that there's something, there's a responsibility in that, not in a way that has to be weighty, but a responsibility so Zetu, welcome. It's great to have you here with us. And Zetu, I apologize if I'm destroying your name here, says, I would like to know, when is the person who stole my money on the wardrobe gonna talk or ask forgiveness? Well, I would say don't hold your breath. You know what, maybe you get to offer forgiveness. Maybe you get to be forgiving or not. But who knows what drove that person to do what they did. You know, it's interesting. There was a point in my life where it became very clear to me for the first time, probably at that point, that any of us are capable of anything given the right or wrong circumstances, that any of us could do horrible things with certain conditions, you know. And I think cultivating compassion, creating capacity for compassion for ourselves and for others, is a powerful practice and opportunity. So Jenny says, I was part of a women's group in a small town, Sheridan, Wyoming. They talk about different self-help topics, like Louise Hay, for example. The group was small, but made an impact on each person individually. Exactly, Jenny. You know, so there's we can have this impact on all different levels, and the things that we might learn or take away from a group like that will often share with others. You know, so my clients are teaching me all the time, you know, where we collectively come to new insights together. And then I come here and I share those insights, and hopefully some of those stick with you and you share them, and you know, it ripples out. So Jenny says, that group was my main support system through leukemia the first time. Thank God you had them, Jenny. What a gift. What a gift. And you know, maybe you want to start a group like that. I would think that there is much desire and appreciation for that kind of group. Jenny says, ripple, ripple. Yeah, for sure. You know, that it's kind of the notion of pay it forward. It happens that even in a very natural way, you know, the way, if you think about how gossip spreads, you know, that's also a ripple. If you think about, you know, those emails that say, watch out for this, or that scam. And then everybody knows about it. And then you go to Snopes and to find out, Snopes.com, to find out if it's real or not. So we ripple all the time because we're social creatures, right? So there are ripples on all different levels, for good and for ill, you know, where we get this, we call it viral communication, right? We call it viral when we talk about how social media stuff propagates. It goes viral. Jenny says it's much different in Denver, Colorado. My guess is that I would think that there are a lot of elevated people in Denver. It's just finding them, you know, that there would be people to have a good group like that with. But anyway, our attitudes ripple, like we talk about the energetic impact of our beingness. Often, you know, if we're in a bad mood, people sense that. If we're in a good mood, people sense that. Just smiling at somebody can make a difference. And then that ripples. And then there are bigger ripples too. You know, there are bigger ripples too, where we can say, you know, I really feel strongly about this issue, and I want to be able to support it. So how do we support it? You know, maybe we share information about it. You know, maybe we get people together to take action around it. This is where change comes from, is sort of recognizing the ripple, maybe harnessing the ripple to a certain degree. And, you know, as we think about, I think about a river and making waves, you know, that's another version of a ripple, right? Is maybe stirring things up a little bit. And so I wonder if you look at your own life, even just so this person that I was talking with yesterday said that they thought it would be really valuable to have people reflect on how they have changed as a result of the work that we've done, and how that's changed the way they interact in their world with other people, with their community. And I thought that's really brilliant. And I'm going to pose that question to you. Several of you, some of you, tune into these conversations with some regularity. And I want to just ask you, what's different? What's different? Do you internalize these conversations? What do you do with them? Like, how do these conversations impact you? How do they impact the way you are in the world? And not only how do they impact you, but then how do you bring that impact to others? Like, what does it look like? You know, is there a richer, is there greater compassion? Is there more forgiveness? Is there less stress? Jenny says, spread out and bigger and full of hidden treasures, aka groups. Yeah, I love that. It's really true, right? That there are always hidden treasures in groups and you don't know. And so Rosalind says, I reflect throughout the day based on these morning topics. That's so good to hear, Rosalind. I can't even tell you. I so appreciate that. And I wonder also, as you're reflecting on these topics, like what in your life might be different as a result of those reflections, and what might be different about how you perceive the world or how you operate in the world. What might be changing? So Jenny says, I haven't found my tribe here in Denver, but you can. I mean, check out meetups. I'll bet there are spiritual meetups in Colorado, or look for spiritual organizations. I'll bet you'll find, it might take some sorting, but I'll bet you'll find people that are your people if you look. Maybe just have to be a little creative around it to find them. Rosalind says, I share the shows that I think others would find enlightening. I have more compassion for my perception of other people's shortcomings. That's awesome, Rosalind. Wow. I am so pleased to hear that. And Rosalind says, the questions Mira asks challenge my operating system. That's the idea. Yay. Yay. I'm thrilled to hear that. Because without these kinds of conversations, our operating system kind of runs on automatic, right? And to be able to shine a light on it then gives us some potential to be able to make conscious choices that we might not have otherwise been aware of. Jenny says this group is the most interesting interaction with like-minded people for the last year. Wow. Jenny, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. And one of the reasons I love hearing these answers, by the way, but one of the reasons that I am asking the question is in order for you to recognize what has shifted for you, how you're shifting, how you're growing, and also, what is possible, what's possible for you and what's possible for those you interact with. Jenny says to change perspective. Exactly. And even more than that, to change perspective, to know that perspective is just perspective and that it can change, that it's changeable. That's a big deal, that it's not like black and white. Most things aren't really black and white. Most things are pretty much shades of gray. And so when we can move into this space of a greater openness, greater receptivity, then I believe we make space for a better world. That's what I believe. So I'm thinking that for this group, it's going to be, I might call it living into the emergent future. What do you think about that? Living into the emergent future, or maybe tools for living into the emergent future. I'm not sure, but thank you, Jenny. Jenny says that's your gift. Thank you. I so appreciate that. I am very grateful to have people to share these conversations with, I have to tell you. And I really believe that it is a shift of consciousness that will enable us to to make the changes that we need to on this planet. So Jenny says, huh? Emergent? So when something emerges, it's arising, right? So rather than living from the past and our conditioning and trying to defining our lives based on what's past, to instead shift our attention to what the future is calling forward, what the future is calling us into to express. So Jenny says, okay, I was thinking urgent. Gotcha. Yes, emergent, the emergent future. So to be informed by what the future is calling for rather than by what the past, the legacy anchors us to. And to be looking at ways to generate new patterns of thought and truly new ways of interacting with the world and experience, and creating new paradigms, not based on trying to fix something that's wrong, but to create something that's truly new. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment, living into the emergent future. So to be continued. Yes. I love the opportunity to share these ideas with you and bounce these things off of you. So it's very rich and tremendously fulfilling to me, and I'm very, very grateful. So it's Friday, so that I won't see you for the weekend, and I'm going to sign off and just say, I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection, and I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel, and at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I invite you to check out all the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network, EWN One with the Earth, Enlightened World Living. And Rosalind says the emergent properties of the harmonious human is what G.P. Walsh has a course on. Interesting. Well, I'm not familiar with that course, but my sense is that this is in alignment with that. And it sounds really interesting. Rosalind says, would love to participate in one of Mira's courses. Very cool. Well, thank you. My thought is, and I have a few extra minutes to hang out and talk a little longer this morning. My thought is that it'll be 3 months, because I do a thing in my life that's 3 months on and 1 month off. So January, I have the month off. So it'll be like that. And I'm hoping, who knows, but I'm thinking that I might start it in February. So I get to kind of work out the details, figure out a syllabus, just play some more with the ideas around it. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for your enthusiasm and interest. I really appreciate that. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. I wish you all a phenomenal weekend, and be mindful of the ripples, surf the ripples. And hopefully I will see you again here really, really soon, like Monday. And until then, lots and lots